ready for the middle game of this three-game series, and Shohei Ohtani's ready to try and keep this rolling. He tied Shawn Green yesterday. 53 games in a row he's reached base. It's the second longest streak in franchise history. It ties him with Green for the longest since the team moved to L.A. 5 games away from Duke Snider's franchise record set in 1954 in Brooklyn. He, of course, will lead things off with this lineup presented by your SoCal Helpful Honda dealers. Kyle Tucker bats second. Will Smith's back in the lineup today. 3 guys in the lineup today that weren't in there yesterday. Freddie Freeman's at first, Teoscar Hernandez in left, Muncy at third, and then you've got Pages rejoining the lineup in center field. Kim at shortstop, and Miguel Rojas back in there as the second baseman, hitting 9. Well, yesterday they faced off with Landon Roop, who's had a great season so far. It's not been the case for Tyler Mahle, who signed a 1-year contract with the Giants, and after giving up 8 runs in Cincinnati in his last start, he's still looking for his first win as a Giant with an ERA north of 7.
Had a decent year last year, interrupted by a couple of stints on the IL, looking for his shoulder to feel better, and I'm not sure he's completely healed. He was better after the IL last year, but so far this year, not throwing strikes early in the count, not doing very well in the first inning, and it's a whole bunch of firsts where he's getting attacked. So watch out for these Dodgers in this first inning. Let this offense wake up.
Top home run hitting team in baseball against Mahle, who gave up 4 of them last week and has allowed 6 total, second most in the majors. Here's what he features.
Yeah, all these pitches are going to come at you, but when they come at you in the first 25 pitches so far this year, the league's almost hitting 500.
His 0-1 to Ohtani is taken for strike 2.
I'd love to see Shohei get the on-base streak continued here early so he can concentrate on pitching, and also get the Dodger offense a head start so he can concentrate on pitching.
Because he really has not quite been right. It's not been quite the same impact you normally have from Ohtani, but he's done enough to extend that streak. Here's a little tapper right side. Shoveling with a glove is Devers to a covering Mahle for the first out.
Being on base as a pitcher is one thing. Sprinting down there trying to leg out an infield hit is another. We'll have 2 outs to rest up from the sprint. It is an additional wear and tear on your body.
Mahle retires the first hitter, and up comes Kyle Tucker, who had calmed down the strikeouts the last week or so, but then yesterday 0 for 4, 3 Ks. Dodgers went from scoring 12 runs in the final game in Colorado to just 1 run on 3 hits yesterday. Still, though, plenty of chances because they had 7 walks, just could not cash in, going 1 for 10 with men on base. So the Dodgers 2-3 on this road trip. San Diego, meanwhile, has won 14 of its last 16 games, and the Dodgers and Padres now tied for first at 16-7. Top 2 records in baseball, both in the National League West. The Giants win yesterday as their 4th out of their last 5. They sit at 10-13. Tucker on 1-1 takes a strike, 1-2.
Dodgers will be disappointed in this road trip if they can't get these next 2 games. Come and play the early cellar dwellers of the National League West and might come out of it with a losing record.
Tucker stays alive at home to welcome in the Chicago Cubs this weekend. Cubs riding a 7-game winning streak into their game against the Phillies today. And of course, Tucker's last club spent the 2025 season in Chicago, dealt with some injuries there, still put up great numbers. Tries to lay off and does, and the count evens 2-2.
That splitter resembles the changeup that they saw yesterday from Roop. A lot of lefties ended up full swinging at that pitch.
Splitter last year, the league hit below 200 against, up around 300 this year. Mahle's home with a 2-2. Tucker fouls it off. Mahle's out of Newport Beach. Grew up a Dodger fan. Went to Westminster High School. And spent most of his career with the Cincinnati Reds. About 5 seasons there, and then a few years where he dealt with injuries. Had Tommy John surgery. Came back from that. You mentioned the shoulder that he dealt with last year in Texas. Challenge from Bailey.
Low and away, could be on the plate.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Bailey's been so good at these, and it stays that way. So Malley's got his first strikeout of the ball game. 2 up and 2 down in the first. Brings up Will Smith, who came off of the bench yesterday, gets his first start of the series today. .320 hitter in this ballpark in his career.
Around the cage today, he was swinging it really well. Hopefully he brings that swing into the game.
You talk about maybe altering your approach a touch here, or at least leaning towards your line drive approach in this ballpark, and he's a guy that can do that. We've seen him that short swing. Yeah, he can lift fly balls to the pull field, but he can just have a simple line drive swing too.
You can do that with your eyes instead of changing your swing also. Instead of when the ball is coming in, you try and pick up the top of the ball or the middle of the ball compared to the whole ball. And just barely adjust your swing. Used to do that a lot when I was bunting, when pitchers hit. And when you get up square around the bunt, I was always trying to look at the top of the baseball, so I made sure the bunt would get on the ground.
Way back when the boys of summer would lay down the bunts.
Here we go.
Just misses right there. Bailey thought about it, but thinks better of it.
What was that apparatus you put in front of your microphone to make that sound? That was really good.
It's
Comes
the old
natural,
1930s filter.
Yeah. I don't want to try it.
3 balls and a strike. Malley delivers a little bit outside, and Smith has a 2-out walk. It's not just the home runs. The walks have been an issue for Malley as well. He's given up those 6 home runs, but he also has the 3rd highest walk rate in the National League. And he faces a guy here in Freddie Freeman that drew a couple walks yesterday.
Dodgers had 7 walks yesterday. They just couldn't push him around, but 1.
Freddie Chance here in San Francisco. The Chance have followed the boys in blue through this road trip. Overwhelmed the crowd in Colorado. Let's go Dodgers. Here you've got the beat LA Chance, but it competes a lot with the Dodger fans.
Dodgers travel so well.
Travel, and they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
Fly to center field. Gilbert went back at first. Now comes on, charging late, and he totally misread it. Well, Freddie Freeman drops a base hit into center field, and the Dodgers have him cornered with 2 out. He said, ouch. He got jammed a little bit there. Off the end. Either way, ouch. Rattled him.
Barrels are overrated.
Yeah.
Whether it's on the end or on the handle.
Yeah, maybe things evening out a little bit for Freddie Freeman, who's hit it harder than he has any other season in his career so far. Just hasn't always had something to show for it. All right, little 2-out chance here. Teoscar Hernandez doubled and scored their own run in game 1, and he takes strike 1 from Malley.
Dodgers 0 for 5 yesterday with runners in scoring position. Get a shot here in the first inning.
Bouncing ball left side. Chapman charges, throws on the run to end the first. Dodgers strand a pair. Shohei Ohtani goes to work in his other job when you come back. And Willy Adames heads up to lead things off, and then Luis Arraez and Matt Chapman. Rafael Devers at first base bats cleanup. Casey Schmidt DHs. In right field, Jung-Hoo Lee, Ramos, Gilbert, and Bailey. Same lineup as game 1 for the Giants. And a different pitcher for the Dodgers. Of course, Shohei Ohtani tonight, coming off his 10 strikeout performance against the Mets last Wednesday. He's gone 6 innings in all 3 starts so far, and just 1 earned run allowed.
No matter what pitching category you look at, he's going to be at the top of the list or second. Batting average with 2 strikes, first batter effectiveness, all the different things. He is right there at the top. Runners in scoring position this year, hitting 143 off of him. And you know what? He can throw any pitch at any time. And he's throwing more splits and more curveballs, which are almost unhittable.
This one to Adames is a sweeper, swung on and missed. Breaking stuff hitters have just one hit against so far this year, 1 for 19 against the curve, the sweeper, the slider. And Dave Roberts is saying before the game today that for him is what has stood out most, is just that it's the whole mix. It's not like it's this pitch or that pitch. It's everything that's been working as that sweeper takes off on him, and the count evens 2-2.
The effectiveness of being able to pull the trigger on all his off-speed stuff has really made his fastball even more effective.
And that's what was really good against the Mets last week. The Mets went 1 for 12 against his fastball. He had 13 swings and misses on his four-seam fastball,
averaging around 98 miles an hour.
It's a career high, the number of swings and misses. He had that one stretch after he gave up his own run where 4 pitches in a row he touched triple digits. So it's there whenever he wants it. Here he comes with the 2-2 to Adames. There it is, a fastball to get him looking. Well, he picks up where he finished off his last start, striking out the side to finish off that 10K performance. He got a strike out of Adames to start tonight.
He doesn't elevate with velocity. He just pinpoints the corner.
And if he gets 7 or more of those tonight, you get a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. A rise. Strike. Single and a run scored for a rise last night. It's an odd ball game, but the Giants had the first 4 guys all reach. 3 of them came in to score. Just 2 hits the rest of the way. Maybe not the finest game for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but one of the more impressive ones in that he was still able to get through 7 innings. Ground ball left side and through. Same thing Rise did last night. That large left side of the infield takes advantage. And the 3-time batting champ has a base hit.
He just slaps it over there, kind of guides it. Remind you a little bit of Tony Gwynn as far as having a steering wheel on his bat. And he gets a little slicing action that helps him on that ground slice.
1 on 1 out. Matt Chapman stands in. And Ohtani's first start in the major leagues back in 2018. Matt Chapman hit the first home run that he allowed. He's got 1 other against Ohtani in his career. Third baseman for the Giants takes outside, and the count evens up. Both those homers for Chapman came in an A's uniform. Ohtani has been deadly against the Giants. Kirsten gave you those numbers off at the top. 3 starts, just 1 run against San Francisco.
Chapman looking for some of that Northern California power that he had over there with the A's. Not as much these days.
On a 2-1 from Ohtani. Chapman watches one back up and catch the zone. 2-2.
When you talk about Shohei being able to throw any pitch at any time and throwing them for strikes, that means he's repeating his mechanics, effective mechanics. That means his lower half is firing in the right direction at the right time with the right weight shift, and the upper body just responds.
How about those numbers? We just saw what he's done with 2 strikes this year. You get to 2 strikes, good night. 1 for 36, 19 strikeouts.
And only 3 walks. Pinpoint.
Here's his payoff pitch to Chapman, and he keeps that going. Second strikeout of this first inning. 1 for 37, 20 Ks.
One with the fastball low and away. Now a sweeper low and away. Same location, different movement.
See if he goes after Rafael Devers the way the Dodgers did a lot of the time last night. That's just 4-seamers coming right at him. That is what he starts him with. Downstairs, ball 1. Turn it up to 100 for Devers, who is one of the best hitters in baseball when he's right, but he's looked anything but that so far. It's been a lot of that. He's actually making more contact than he ever has. But the increase in contact has been on pitches out of the zone, which you don't want, because that leads to balls in play but weakly hit. It's those pitches in the strike zone that he's missing. Bangs this one to left center field for a hit. Pages over to cut it off, first and second with 2 out.
You can pitch a guy one way that's slumping and continue to get him out, but the hitter will then tell you when it's time to shift, and I'll bet you the Dodgers shift in the next at bat. He'll start to see more than just fastballs now that he's squared one up.
Yeah, you know, it's just a matter of time for a guy who has always hit. Over from the Red Sox midway through last summer, really a shocking trade. And was really good, not necessarily great in his few months with the Giants, but they need him to be. He's the hitter they've been trying to get to come here and sign a free agent contract for years, but haven't been able to do. And so Buster Posey said, we'll just trade for a star hitter. Strike on Schmidt.
I think that's the way Colorado is going to have to develop pitching. Trade for it. There's not going to be any free agent pitchers that want to come there unless they overpay. And guys that are going to be near the end of their career looking for a big payday before they retire.
How'd you like to get that call? You've been traded to the Rockies as a pitcher.
You're probably hoping your either deal's up at the end of the year or you've got a long-term deal ahead of you, because your stats are going to be different.
Ohtani's ahead 0-2. And he finishes him off with a sweeper. He gets 3 Ks in the inning, and both teams strand 2 in the first.
I hope so. I bet you they can.
Muncy to lead off. He takes strike 1 from Tyler Mahle.
You want it with your number and Davis on the back, or you want to get one with Pages or Muncy or Ohtani?
I'm just asking for the people.
Okay.
But I'll take an Ohtani jersey if you're coupon. Here's a fly ball the other way. Elliot Ramos to get Muncy for the first out of the second. Then a word from Archer.
Fuel your game day with Archer Jerky and Meat Sticks. Find them at grocery and club stores near you.
If you were going to get a jersey, what number would you put on it if it was going to be yours?
A custom one?
Yeah.
55.
No. There's somebody who else has that number. You have to pick your own number.
Here's Pages, still leading the majors, hitting .366.
Russell Martin has that number.
That's right. Dave Roberts told Pages yesterday that he was going to give him a day, his first day off this year, and Andy didn't like that, and Dave liked that he didn't like it, but he said, hey, deal with it. Came off of the bench, struck out, and he's back in there today. .366 average, 21 runs batted in. Mahle delivers 1-1. Pages watches ball 2. Jack Harris in the California Post wrote a good article about Pages the other day, just about how he's always been able to hit, back to when they were looking at him when he was coming up in Cuba. But for years they've been telling him, hey, to make the big jump, you got to get in better shape. Because he looks great now and he's fast now, but those first few years he was not in very good shape. He really hadn't committed to the weight room yet. Signed his contract, kept on hitting until he didn't, and then he stopped hitting. He's like, okay, at this point I guess I gotta listen. Drives one down the right field line. Lee is over and out of room. 2022 in the minors, didn't hit at all. His weight got up to 250 pounds, and so he was hardly even playing center field at that point. And said, okay, now I'm going to change this. So he committed to a better diet. For the first time really ever, had a real weightlifting routine. Comes back the next spring and he was unrecognizable. He had dropped 30 or 40 pounds in that one off season. Fights another off, stays alive. That was the year where he then showed up, got off to a great start, goes up to AAA quickly. First game there, blows out his shoulder. So he was on the verge of getting to the majors 21, 22 years old before that injury. He takes a one-out walk here. Second one issued by Mahle.
Confident walk also.
Earned it after fouling off a couple pitches. That same work ethic that helped him get into better shape he had to put to use with that shoulder injury. They were so shocked seeing him come looking as good as he did after he got overweight after 22. Same deal after the shoulder injury. They were shocked that he was ready to go the following spring and made his major league debut not too long after that. The strike on Kim, and we've heard the hitting coaches this year talk about the same thing, where you give him something to work on. There is zero doubt that he's going to go work on it. You're never going to have to remind him. 0-2.
He not only dropped the pounds, but he gained 2 or 3 steps where he can play center field, and now we've got him running into right fielders, running into left fielders with all that speed.
Oh, 2. Kim down quickly. That's one of the first quick at bats Kim has had in his first couple weeks back here. 2 out.
This is when the splitter is so effective, when it looks like a fastball right down the middle and then the bottom drops out of it. And that was perfected early on by Bruce Sutter, and then a lot of different giants who came through this area because of Roger Craig was the great teacher of the split finger fastball.
2 outs for Rojas, down the middle for a strike. Routine in right. Jung-Hoo Lee to the bottom of the second. Strikeouts, that's now 13 Ks in his last 7 innings.
You got 1 with the fastball, and then they swung at 4 sweepers and missed all 4.
Jung-Hoo Lee leads off. Ohtani comes home, and Lee takes a ball. Lee 2 for 3 yesterday, knocked in a run. He left the game, banged up his quad, which has already been hurting him on that slide at home when he pushed the envelope, tried to score. But he's back in there today, and the Giants are happy that he is because he's hot. 385 his last 10 games. Still trying to figure out exactly what they have here in Lee, and it's hard to totally know. We were talking about his injuries yesterday that have stunted his time now in his 3rd season. I think the hope was that he'd be a little more dynamic. They got him to play center field. Wasn't as good there. He's already moved to right field. There's a reputation that he would run a lot. He hadn't even attempted a steal this year. It's been a pretty one-dimensional game. Great bat to ball guy, but not a whole lot beyond that. Ohtani talking over to the Giants dugout. Not sure exactly what that is. Looked nice enough. Here's 2-1. And Lee takes strike 2. Old teammate of Ha-Seong Kim. And the heroes in Korea. They got drafted together. 7 seasons together. Good buddies. Ha-Seong said he leaned on Jung-Hoo a lot during his transition here. Swings through a fastball that was up to 100. Each of the first 4 outs have been strikeouts.
This is just Blue Bayou. Wow. Is that all you got?
I mean, that ball's in the glove when he's getting his swing off.
Yeah. And the handle of the bat is not even with the plate, and that ball is just almost by him.
Strike on Elliot Ramos. I asked Will Smith today what's different from last year. And he said it's the same. Come on, Will.
Yeah.
Give me something. He said, all right, it's refined. The command is just much more refined. 1-2.
It's free and easy for me. It's explosive at the end of his delivery. There's no hesitation. And rehab is not only physical, it's mental, especially the subconscious.
Off the end of the bat, rolled it to short. Kim's up with it. 2 out.
Subconsciously, you know, you can be holding back your arm speed. You can be holding back firing your legs completely. You can be holding back not firing your hips to really get the X factor into it. But once you have a whole off season of not rehabbing but strength and letting go, it not only lets go of the body and all the fibers, it lets go of the mind. And that's what I see. I just see him I am completely healthy and confident nothing's going to break.
Let it happen.
Yeah, it's just happening.
2 up, 2 down in the second, and here's the center fielder, Drew Gilbert. 0 for 3, couple Ks yesterday. Fastball to the edge, 100 and easy. It's interesting, we've seen him touch 100 in his first few starts when he's needed to, but he's pretty much sat there with ease in this game. In on him, and a pop-up, and an overwhelming second inning of stuff from Shohei Ohtani. Unavoidable situations. It'll happen now and then when Ohtani's pitching. Has to hustle over there, get ready to hit, which he does on the ground to first, and Devers makes a nice play to retire him. Well, Devers twice has gotten Ohtani. First on kind of an in-between swing where Devers had to make a nice play here on a hard hit ball. And so Shohei's 0 for 2, but it does open up the conversation about Ohtani hitting on the days where he pitches. Last week against the Mets, 10 strikeouts, best he's looked as a pitcher. He was only a pitcher in that game. First time that's been the case in 5 years. They'd been hit on the shoulder a couple games before that, and that shoulder was still a little bit sore, so Dave Roberts said it made sense for him to have the net off from hitting. But he said, hey, if you're going to take your best hitter out of the lineup, you got to have a good reason for it. And that's sad. He's talking about it today. He said he's open to the idea of doing that where it makes sense. And he said, especially with Dalton Rushing's emergence lately, you now have a good option if Ohtani's not DHing. The drop-off isn't as far. And you take your best hitter out of the lineup. Tucker flies to left, 2 gone in the third. Up comes Will Smith, 2 gone, bases empty. You know, when you're looking at just Ohtani, the numbers don't lie. 298 when he's not pitching, 213 when he is pitching, with a strikeout rate that's way higher.
I think with the player of Ohtani's caliber, he will always be part of that equation also. It won't be just this is what we're doing and coming from Dave Roberts or from the front office. He will definitely be participating in that, just like Mookie Betts would, or Freddie Freeman, or Will Smith, or others.
Challenge.
Catcher's challenge in the call.
Did it come back and catch the edge of the plate? It starts as a ball, but it has some tailing action.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile and didn't get this one. One catcher.
San Francisco has 1 remaining.
Trying to challenge another.
That fraternity is breaking down.
Jeez. Two and 0.
Usually the center field shot, you see 2 catchers up there, and then the umpire's smaller. Not with Jordan Baker.
No. 6'8". Smith, who has a home run against Mahle, takes strike 2 and 2. That wasn't last year, though. Mahle dominated when the Dodgers saw him back in April. 7 scoreless innings in Texas. First-year Giant looking for his first win as a Giant. Fires 2-2. Count goes full.
Dodgers and Giants competing on the field. Dodger fans and Giant fans competing in the stands as far as which chant can get louder. Let's go Dodgers or beat LA.
I think Giants fans are hoping that the rival being in here, big bad Dodgers, could stoke their fire, start their fire really. With a very slow and pretty frustrating start to this season for a franchise that's been stuck in the middle for a long time. They had that dream 2021 season. They're top of the Dodgers in the division. Won 107 games. That was a franchise record. 4 straight years, though, they've been between 79 and 81 wins. That's a really numbing place to live. You're not headed up with a bunch of great prospects coming up. You're not totally tearing it down. You're not winning titles. Just stuck in the middle. Smith swats one to right field. Righted Lee to finish off a 1-2-3 third. Shohei Ohtani, 1.5 miles per hour up from where it's been for a lot of the year, averaging just a tick under 99. Strike one on Patrick Bailey. Started him with a fastball.
And they are swinging and misses not only at the fastball, but the sweeper. 80% whiff rate.
Jeez.
30% would be good.
That's 4 out of the 5 swings they've taken against it have come up empty. Punch to left, Teoscar Hernandez. Happy to not have anybody over there after that collision last night. Both guys okay. I was talking with Alex Call about it today. He said, I'm a little sore. It's quite a linebacker to run into there. Teoscar okay as well. And Alex said that he didn't see that Teoscar had gone back at first. He just sensed his lack of presence there until the last second he heard him shouting, and by then it was too late. There's another swing and a miss on the sweeper. Strike one on Willy Adames. You know, Teoscar Hernandez got to the majors in 2016 with the Astros. Started the next year in 16. He just played a handful of games. Started the next year in the minors. Gets called back up. So still in a position where he's like, okay, I get to go up there and make an impression, trying really hard. His first inning on the field collided with Jose Altuve. Knocked both guys out of the game. Caught by Freddie Freeman at first. 2 out. Teoscar never played for the Astros again. Went on the injured list. Got healthy, but they sent him to AAA. And before he came back up again, he got traded to Toronto.
McCall and Teo hit head to head. Teo and Altuve would be like head to stomach.
A rise, statuesque. Strike one. One of the 2 hits for the Giants. Both came in the first inning. Oh, 0-2.
High fastball or splitter?
Coming right here, you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. High fastball.
Yep. Bouncing ball. Kim. Another 1-2-3 inning on 7 pitches this time. Early pitchers dueling this ball game. Tyler Mahle for the Giants. Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers. No score to the 4th where Freddie Freeman leads off. Freeman has the Dodgers' only hit of this game. One of just 4 in 2 games in this series. That's strike one for Mahle.
4 for their last 39, which is a click, just a click over 100. Scored 1 run against these Giants so far.
Bouncing ball and throw. Freddie Freeman's 2 for 2. It's funny, he's been hitting the ball so hard all year, but the numbers haven't aligned with how hard he's hit it. And tonight, 2 balls not hit very hard, 2 base hits.
1 weekly in the air, 1 weekly on the ground, both off the end of the bat.
Freddie's in his 17th year. His hard hit rate, his exit velocity, his expected numbers, all of those advanced stats, the highest they've ever been. Teoscar Hernandez, strike one. Strikes again, strike two.
It is really odd for Teo to be taking these fastballs and then offering at pitches that are sometimes a ball out of hand, but they're breaking balls, and you just waving at him. He looks lost.
Over a splitter right there.
But this is not an outstanding splitter. That thing is, you could probably read the spin that it's a splitter, and then it just doesn't it just barely breaks. You're at least expecting a foul ball with that.
Runner at first for Muncy with one gone in this fourth inning. And Max followed a huge series in Colorado with an 0-for-3 night last night, 2 Ks, and he's talking to him before the game today. Frustrated. So, you know, a lot of little changes he made this offseason. Still feels great when they're clicking, but they're coming and going still, and it's really frustrating him. He said that hopefully soon they become second nature, those changes he made, where you don't have to wonder if you're going to have him on a given night. And he said the focus right now, to simplify it, is he's trying to keep his weight back more consistently, that his problems are coming when he's drifting, kind of sliding towards the pitcher. Just outside, 2-1.
If you load properly, you can really not drift. But if you load in a place where it's really not completely under your control, then you're going to drift a little bit just to get the weight in the exact spot you need it to fire your hips.
Better splitter right there, 2-2.
And to get the weight in the perfect place, it takes really good solid posture, from your knee flex to your spine angle to the position of your head. It may seem really technical, but when you're competing at this elite level, it is so much the fine tuning to be able to hit a 97-mile-an-hour fastball and also a 75 to 80-mile-an-hour split.
Ripped to second, and it's off of a rise into right center field. Freeman turns aggressively, heads for third, throwing the way, offline. Muncy takes second. Dodgers playing the game. Second and third, one away.
Freddie can't go right away because you freeze on the line drive, and he does. See that? Even want a half a step back towards first, but then where he sees the outfielders have not picked up the ball yet, he is sliding in there, and the ball is offline. If that ball would have been online, Freddie would have lined himself up with Chapman to try and have it deflect off his back, but he didn't need to because it was so wide.
That's one of the things that we don't talk enough about, is the impact Freddie Freeman has made on the team's collective base running since coming over from Atlanta. Second and third, one out, Pages. Dodgers trying to break on the board first. Outside corner for a strike. For years, the Dodgers were not great running the bases. Freddie talks about coming up through the system in Atlanta, even in the minors, winning was stressed. It's not always the case in minor league baseball. And one of the ways you win games is by running the bases well, running the bases aggressively. So he had that hardwired into him. You think first baseman, that's not a big part of his game, but no matter what position you play coming up in those Atlanta minor league programs, decade and a half ago, you were going to cut the bases hard fundamentally. And he's one of the reasons why the Dodgers now run the bases as well as anybody.
And there were two reads there. Freddie on the distance between the ball and the outfielder, and then Max Muncy reading Freddie as the trail runner.
Pages pokes it to first. Throw to the plate. And now he's hung up and tagged by Bailey.
Freddie was trying to stay in the rundown a little bit longer to get Andy Pages to second, but Giants did a good job closing the gap. And once Bailey runs him back aggressively, to see Freddie point and try and be a traffic cop to get Pages done, but then called out of the baseline, and Pages has to be at first.
So I'm praising the base running. Is this nothing you can do, or is this?
No, this is fine. They were going on contact because they still have a runner in scoring position. So they were playing aggressively right there.
Still no score. Up to Kim, who's retired very quickly. Struck out on 3 pitches his first time. Cutter for a strike. It was a splitter that bedeviled him that first time. Kim's knocked in the Dodgers' only run in this series. So the bases loaded walk yesterday. On an 0-1. Lays off the splitter.
I really think the ABS system has made these umpires concentrate a lot more. They're doing a great job. The ones they end up missing are usually something that's humanly impossible to see the difference between strike or ball.
Scalded to second. Arraez with a pick. Wow. What a play by Luis Arraez to keep this a 0-0 game. Ball 1 on Matt Chapman. Still scoreless here in the last of the 4th. The Giants have struggled defensively. A couple nice defensive plays in this game, and a big one from Luis Arraez to get Ha-Seong Kim and finish off the top of the 4th. 1-1 strike on Chapman. Giants have 2 hits in this game. Ohtani's retired the last 7 that he's faced. 4 Ks, no walks. Struck out Chapman the first time he faced him. He's off the end of the bat right here into shallow center field for Rojas. 1 out in the 4th. And a word from Kia. Devers with 1 away. You think about the greatness that you're watching in Shohei Ohtani with both sides of what he's doing. 4 MVPs in 5 years. Been a two-way guy for those 5 seasons. And when you look at 5-year blocks of greatness throughout baseball history, from a pitching side, you have what Sandy did in the 1960s. 5 straight ERA titles. Pedro Martinez, his 5-year peak, where his ERA was around 2. From a hitting side, right here in San Francisco, the gold standard would be what Barry Bonds did, winning the 4 straight MVPs in the early 2000s. But to do both, not just to do both, but to be the best hitter, and right now the single best pitcher in the National League. It's 1-1 to Devers downstairs, and again, right now he may not be the best hitter. Right now he is the best pitcher.
He's definitely the best pitcher, and he's going deep enough into games and getting enough starts to continue to qualify as the best.
Again off the barrel. 2 out in the 4th.
As the fastball effectiveness grows, his ability to keep his pitch count down and be more effective in the later innings, because he hasn't revealed his whole toolbox. He does not overpitch until you force him to pitch.
Casey Schmidt, who struck out on 3 pitches, had him flailing wildly at breaking stuff. Popped out of his hand. Ball 1.
Here we are, the 5th hitter, the 2nd time around in the order, and a lot of them haven't seen a lot of the different pitches. Some of them haven't seen the split. Some barely have seen a curveball. A lot have seen the fastball and the sweeper.
There's a fastball by him, strike 2.
He's very old school with his batting style, and he's very old school with his pitching style. He's a rock and fire kind of pitcher. He rocks his head and his body offline, then he catches himself and plants his leg and gets online. The most consistent part of his delivery, that is his foundation, is his back leg, when he turns and pivots on it and then puts his hip turn and his weight and his head into it. It does the same thing every time, and that gives him Like the butt end of his gun is right where he wants it to get his sights in line for when he's aggressively coming towards the batter. That back leg is like his third eye.
Into left field towards the corner. Hernandez onto the track with room. And another 1-2-3 inning. Ohtani's Dodgers a couple times have had multiple base runners on. Similar story to last night. Unable to push anything across. 9-1-2 here against Mahle, who's got a 7 ERA coming into the game. (2-0) on Rojas.
You saw the two starting pitchers. If you're coming to the game and listening to the pregame show on radio, you think, oh my gosh, this is a heavyweight against a lightweight. It's not turned out to be that way. They're going blow for blow, 0 for 0.
Thought about a challenge. Didn't take it. So now 2-1 and a swing and a miss. 2-2. Digs it out down to third. Chapman. Nice play.
Most third basemen, when they get to wind up, they show off their arms. Chapman, easy wind up there with a backhand that loaded him.
Ohtani's still trying to extend that on base streak. Tied with Shawn Green at 53 games. Remember Shawn Green, whose single season home run record Shohei Ohtani beat his first year with the team. When Green's name keeps getting stirred up by Shohei Ohtani, it's a reminder how good Shawn Green was. 15 years in the big leagues. 5 of his best came with the Dodgers. He had the on-base streak that we're talking about in 2000. The home run record, he hit 49 in 2001 before Ohtani broke it. And then the year after that, a 4 home run game in Milwaukee.
He had a beautiful swing. It was one of those classic short to long swings. It was a great coiling action.
1-2 from Mahle. Ohtani takes strike 3.
Challenged him with the heater in that at bat. Ended up punching him out on an inside fastball. Wants to go away, pulls it in. The tailing action hits the corner.
Fourth one for Mahle. 2 out for Tucker. Takes a fastball for a strike. Kyle still looking for his first hit of this series. He's 0 for 6, 4 Ks.
Mahle is proud of his fastball at 93 as Shohei is at 100.
Fly to center field. Gilbert curls around it. We're halfway home. Goose eggs on both sides. Ohtani struck out 4. He's not walked anybody. He's retired 10 in a row. On to the 5th inning. In a 0-0 game. The chance for Jung-Hoo Lee. Struck out his first time and takes a first pitch sweeper for a strike, but he's going to challenge it. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Already down 1 challenge. He's going to win this one. That's so ball 1 instead of strike 1. Well, you look at that and say that's not very high leverage first pitch of the inning, but in a 0-0 game. Now a chase and a miss, 1-1.
He takes the borderline one for a ball and he chases the one that's in the dirt, but boy, he was guessing heater.
Got a heater. Back to Ohtani. This continues to fire up 100 with ease.
So he's a really good hitter. He's a really good pitcher, and now he's fielding his position. That was outstandingly done. Just a little one hopper, get the glove in the right spot.
Glove's supposed to be the one thing he doesn't need.
Yeah. Surprised his glove's even broken in.
Does look a little stiff.
That fastball has been amazing. They are 2 for 19 off of it. Those last few starts. That four-seamer is awesome.
And then the sweeper. Strike on Ramos.
Take that. He had a 3-2 count to Chapman in the first inning. Since then, no 3-ball counts.
And a lot of these 0-2 counts.
Yeah. Anything to do with the 2 has barely been a 2-ball count. It's always been an 0-2 count.
Another fastball, this time fouled. Ohtani's ERA down to 0.40. Chopper left side and through. Ramos with a first base hit since the first inning for the Giants.
Arise, that first hit was a routine ground ball that just found a hole, and this one is kind of the same. Multiple hops that happens to have eyes.
Ramos aboard, has not attempted a stolen base this year, only has 12 of them in his 4 years in the big leagues. Up comes Drew Gilbert, the 8-hitter. First one from Ohtani, misses away. Close. Would have been a good challenge. Shook a couple times, chooses this for a 2-0 pitch. Fastball at the knees, strike one.
The 2-strike hit by Ramos is only the second hit Ohtani has allowed this year in the 2-strike count. Hitters are 2 for 43.
2-1 to Gilbert. Misses away for ball 3. So that's the first 3-ball count since
Chapman in the first inning.
No score last of the 5th. Giants took the first game 3-1. That's the first walk issued by Ohtani. Will Smith going to say hang on. ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it's not yet a walk. Come on back. 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. He struck him out. Got a chase on a fastball that would have been ball 4.
It looked like it was going to be a high strike down the middle, and the tailing action takes it completely away from the bat. Watch this movement.
Woo! That's a 4-seam. Moving like that.
He's got a 4-seam rotation on his hand, but if your hand is slightly angled, it's changing the axis of the ball and giving it that tailing action.
2 away for Patrick Bailey. Just misses. 101 that time.
Yeah, same 4-seamer with that same tailing action. You know, if your arm angle drops a little bit or your hand discipline just tilts a little bit, you're going to be able to get that access of that spin and get a little movement.
Back in the zone with the sweeper. Not always something you're looking for, right? Sometimes it could be a negative.
Yeah, it could be, but you know, you can play it if you understand your spray pattern, and you know you're maybe getting a little bit tired.
Sharp grounder, backhand Rojas. He said those are the toughest ones in the move to second. The hard hit ball's moving to his right. Way to look easy though with a backhand play, and 5 scoreless in the books for Ohtani. 6 identical lines, no runs on 3 hits. One of the guys you would have expected that from in Ohtani, but Tyler Mahle came into this game with an ERA north of 7. Having his best start so far as a Giant, and repeating what he did against the Dodgers last year when he was with Texas and fired 7 scoreless. Misses away with his first pitch to Will Smith. That was part of an excellent year last year for Mahle. It was top 5 with a 2.16 ERA. As you mentioned, though, missed half of the season with a shoulder issue. And so the Giants signed him on this 1-year contract, so go ahead and prove that what you did last year in that short time was real. They figured that it would be, and his manager last year, Bruce Bochy, is now an advisor in the front office here, so he was able to vouch for the guy. And they put those 2 pieces of information together. They said maybe we can get our next Kevin Gausman, somebody who's shown it but not done it consistently. Bring him here, help him break out. Hit hard, backhand Adames across in time, and the Giants sparkling on defense tonight.
These one-hop bullets. The middle infield has just sucked up. These guys are playing. That was a hard one. One that Arise did was all velocity and just making sure you get the glove in the right spot for the bounce. This one takes the big hop, and he really finds a way to get it in the glove.
1 out for Freeman. Dodgers have 3 hits in this game. Freeman has 2 of them. But here they are in our Performance Spotlight, sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers.
They all count the same in the scorebook. There's no pictures.
Well, those 2 hits have Freeman's career average up to 300. It's been teetering 299, 300. Had a pitch to hit right there, frustrated with himself, down 1-2. .300 for his career, up above 300 this year, even with the frustrating first couple weeks. On this 1-2 from Tyler Mahle, Freeman bounces it right side. Arise has it to a covering Mahle, with Devers moving to his right. 4-1, 2 out. And a word from Carl's Jr.
What the cluck? The new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich. Only at Carl's Jr.
Hadn't been a run scored in this series since the 4th inning yesterday. That's 10 innings in a row with neither offense has been able to break through. For the Giants, they haven't scored since the 1st yesterday.
And the park has played very fair. It hasn't been like it's been bitter cold and the wind blowing in.
Hernandez 0 for 2. Beautiful. Vibrant colors.
It'd be better for the Dodgers, better for the National League West, and better for baseball if the Buster Posey can get this organization pointed in the right direction.
To short, and Adames, who puts bookend defensive plays on this 1-2-3-6.
That's a lot of pepperonis. I like mine a little crispier.
Ball 1 on Willy Adames. No score, bottom of the 6th.
I'm going to say there's 97 pepperonis.
20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I got 72. It's like the. Now I can't tell. You know, all that cheese on it.
Covering the pepperoni then.
It's like the thing in school where you bring in
jelly
beans
beans
in the jar.
How many?
Guess the number.
Yep.
Win the jar. Adames, with those 2 fantastic defensive plays in the top of this inning, swings over a sinker. And it's 1-2.
Somebody's at home is pushing 10 seconds backwards and pushing pause and counting the pepperonis.
Somebody will do it.
And they're going to put it on our Instagram or someplace.
Whoever gets it right
on X
gets the pizza.
Oh yeah, you got to fly here.
I meant between you and me, between our guesses.
Okay, all right.
2-2. 1 out. Fastball blown by him. Took a little off though. 98.
Adames showed off his glove the half inning prior, but right here the bat does not work against that high cheese.
Now the power of Ohtani against the bat to ball maven Luis Arraez. First pitch to the back door for a strike. Arraez 1 for 2. One of the 3 hits for the Giants. They have just 1 base runner since the first inning, does San Francisco. That thing just dives out of there.
It's video game stuff tonight. Fastball, elite velocity, elite location, sweeper working really well, and now the splitter.
Threw it again in the dirt. Ball 1. Splitter's a pitch that he never really had last year, his first year coming back from Tommy John. He's throwing it more this season. Emphatically says yes. And delivers 1-2. Arraez gets up on top of it at third. Muncy, long throw, 2 out.
Max Muncy played that ball beautifully. He knew, even though it was a backhand, he had to charge it because of Arraez, his speed and running from the left-hand batter's box. So he couldn't just lay back on this ball. Look where he is, and look him charge it in right into the backhand with momentum going towards first. That was well done. It could have been much closer at first base if he'd have done even just 1 step differently.
2 outs. Chapman. Strike. Oh, 1. Chapman of the Giants had the first 4 reach yesterday. They're 5 for 44 since then. On a 1-1 pitch, Chapman swings and misses, laid on a fastball, strike 2.
Ohtani 1 strike and 1 out away from going 6 or more innings for the 4th time this year.
And as many tries.
Yep.
After the methodical build-up last year, 1 innings to 2 innings to 3 innings and on.
He's got Chapman so sped up. He's emergency hacking the 98-mile-an-hour fastball that's high and away for a ball. Sweeper low and away. He's out. Threw him a splitter, but it was a ball out of hand.
Now a 2-2. Up the middle, Rojas ranges over across his body, not in time, and an infield hit from Chapman.
Miggy wanted to charge it like Muncy did, but he needed the time to get the range instead of being able to round it off. So as he has to go directly towards where the ball's going to end up, he couldn't round off, has to make the wrong foot throw. And it just is not in time.
So the inning kept alive for Devers, who takes a ball. Ohtani crossing 80 pitches.
That's where speed doesn't show up in the box score with Miguel in his range. He had to use his range to get to the ball, where somebody that's a little faster when he was younger would be able to use that speed to round that ball off. That's what Kim does so well with his speed. not only does he get to balls, but what he gets to, he's in position to throw the ball quicker.
Here's 1-1. Devers takes outside. The command drifting from pinpoint like it has been for a lot of the night as the 6th inning goes on. Chapman at first in a scoreless game. Bottom of the 6th. 2-1 pitch. Devers down the line, a fair ball. It's going to hit that sidewall and ricochet right to Kyle Tucker. Chapman stopped at third emphatically. A double from Devers and a chance for the Giants.
Hitters counts make hitters more aggressive. Gives them the freedom to just let the bat go, because if they swing and miss, no big deal. I'm ahead in the count. I've got another strike. And that aggressiveness on a splitter in finds the line and finds second and third, 2 out.
Hector Borg, who had that over-aggressive send last night to Jung-Hoo Lee, is taking no chances right there. Firmly planted, doing a squat over there in foul territory, throwing up both hands, saying, stop right here. And they'll leave it up to Casey Schmidt.
They'll carry him off the right field wall down there in foul territory. Saved a run. That gets all the way to the corner. That's definitely 1 run for the Giants.
Schmidt's 0 for 5 in this series. He's been one of their best hitters this year. Second and third, 2 out. Ohtani delivers. Schmidt fouls it off.
Dialed it back up to 100 with 2 guys in scoring position.
The 0-1.
Pitch selection will be interesting here because they are 3 for 4 off his splitter with a double. The rest of his mix 2 for 18.
Here's his 1-1 to Casey Schmidt. He got a swing and a miss on the sweeper, strike 2.
The rest of his mix includes that pitch.
Could be it for him right here. 6 Ks. A pitch away from 6 scoreless. His 1-2. His swung out and missed. Alley stays in for the 7th and gets ahead of Max Muncy.
Malley's done the job with his fastball tonight. The league was hitting .423 off of it coming in. The Dodgers are 1 for 9 off of it.
Off the end of the bat, center field, Gilbert on the run makes the catch. How about Ohtani tonight, though? The 6 scoreless innings. And then seeing that emotion pour out of him, I think we all appreciate at this point that he takes his pitching stuff a notch more seriously. Maybe not the way to put it, but there's a different version of him that comes out when he pitches.
Yeah, you can tell that pitching is his first love. Even though he's an elite MVP hitter, he loves to compete with the ball in his hand.
Pages takes the ball. And it looks like it is going to be it for Ohtani. The lefty Jack Dreyer begins to warm. 2 of the first 3 due up for the Giants, left-handed hitters. Ball and a strike on Pages. So Ohtani now oral 24 innings, 1 run.
Yeah, it's no secret that he and Yamamoto are really challenging themselves to be the first Japanese-born Cy Young Award winner. And if the Dodgers could get him a run right here and have him in line for a W, that would help the cause. Yamamoto last night pitched like a possible Cy Young winner just by struggling in the first inning and then shutting it down for the rest of the way. Just did not get any run support.
Well, if you Would have said going into the game you get 6 scoreless innings from Ohtani, you'd think sure thing this would be a win. With Malley's struggles coming in, Malley hadn't completed 6 innings yet, let alone pitch into the 7th. Well, here we are with 1 away. Still no score. Pages, who is 0 for 1 with a walk, is now 0 for 2.
Malley getting it done with his fastball. Ohtani got it done with his fastball, but Ohtani also got it done with his sweeper. He got 9 swings and misses with his sweeper out of the 15 swings that the Giants attempted to hit. 9 of them turned out empty.
Two up and 2 down for Malley here in the 7th. Ha-Seong Kim. Fastball is in there. Ryan Borucki, who we saw last night, starts to loosen. They've got 3 left-handers down there. They used them all yesterday. The 0-1 fouled off. 10 in a row retired by Malley. Dodgers had first and or second and third with just 1 out in the 4th inning, and they have not gotten a base runner since. The 0-2 pitch to Kim. Softly hit the short. Adames just in time at first. So 11 in a row retired by Malley. 7 scoreless. Stand and stretch. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Sit and Sleep. The 7th. Lee, Ramos, and Gilbert due up for the Giants. Lefty, strike 1.
Jack had the Mets series off, but he was really good in Colorado. Couple appearances, 3 scoreless innings.
Lee through the left side for a leadoff hit.
No hits given up in Colorado, but here on a fastball, Lee just slices it over there to the left side.
First time the Giants have had the leadoff man on tonight. And now Elliot Ramos. Giants out hitting the Dodgers 6-3 in this game. Neither team with anything to show for it. Check swing, ball 1. How about the lefty trio for the Dodger bullpen? Dreyer, Tanner Scott, Alex Vesia together, a 1 ERA. He's got a good lead. Not running. Into center field. Back-to-back base hits to open the 7th.
Back-to-back on Jack's fastball. Coming in, the league was only 1 for 16 off his fastball. Now they're 3 for 18. This one a little off the end of the bat. Hit on the line, but wasn't hit solidly. But if he hits it solidly, it's probably an out in center field. But now it doesn't have enough velocity to reach Pages.
You know, immediately after Shohei Ohtani leaves the game, the Giants saying, okay, we got a shot now. And putting a couple ducks on the pond for the 8-hitter Drew Gilbert, who's 0 for 2 today. 0 for 5 in this series. Squares around, takes low with a 9-hitter Bailey, who's one of the worst hitters in baseball, on deck.
I wonder if they will pinch hit for Bailey. He's looking back at the dugout from the on-deck circle.
Challenge.
Catcher challenging the pitch.
Powered by T-Mobile.
It was a strike. I think Jordan Baker, who's done a great job behind the plate, just kind of blinked through it with the bat in the strike zone, being pulled back.
Gilbert takes in the dirt. What a stop there by Will Smith.
There's a lot going on with that pitch, being in the dirt, the block, trying to think that the guy might bunt, so I might have to get up quickly.
Drew Gilbert just 2 successful sacrifice bunts, 5 years in the minors. He played for Tony Vitello at Tennessee, and in 3 years there, Vitello had him bunt once. The 2-1. Lays it down. Freeman's got it. Over to first where Rojas covers. Successful sacrifice for Drew Gilbert. And Patrick Bailey's going to hit for himself.
College ball with this type of hitter, you might go with the suicide squeeze. You never know what's going on here. Dodger infield will definitely be pinched in.
Bailey is a decent bunter. Vitello and the Giants trying to squeeze a run out here. And a 0-0 game in the 7th. Every bit of offense precious. Second and third, one away. Infield comes in. No signs of a bunt. Strike one.
I think that was a ball. That looked a little wide. Dodgers caught a break.
Patrick very aggressive challenging it as a catcher, but as a hitter he chooses not to here. Lee at third, Ramos at second. Dreyer to the plate. Another stop by Will Smith. Top of the order, and Willy Adames after this. On a 1-1, Bailey fouls it off, strike 2. Now you can go for that strikeout.
Yeah, you'll take a few shots at it for sure. Are you going to try and beat him to the spot with the fastball, or are you going to try and make it look like a fastball but break it into the dirt?
The 1-2 is fouled off. Over the slider.
That's not where he wanted it. He left that ball up and got away with one. Might not have been a hit, but it was going to be put in play in a way to probably score the run. If he throws it down and in, it could be the strikeout or a ground ball to Max Muncy. Definitely to the left side.
Drilled to left center field, headed for the seats. Goodbye.
They came back with the same pitch, another slider. This one was hung even more. Back-to-back ones that weren't in the right location. This is just right in the sweet spot of any big league hitter. A surprise to get this from Bailey, but not on a pitch like that.
First home run of the year. And he takes his RBI total for the year from 1 to 4 with one swing. To the backstop here, and a ball on Adames. Another high fly to left. Tasker to the track. This time he's got room.
Another high slider, but fortunate enough that the speed got him a little bit too far out in front.
Two outs and Luis Arraez. The Giants have broken through with a loud, surprising swing from their 9-hitter and catcher, who's maintained his spot because Daniel Susac, who was starting to take playing time from him, has gone on the injured list. Bat had gotten to the point where he wasn't playing as much, even as spectacular as his defense is. But given A new opportunity, fresh start with the injury to Susac. By far his biggest swing of the year. A rise into center for Pages. And this game goes to the 8th. The Giants have broken the scoreless tie with a home run against Rider. From Patrick Bailey, and the Giants have the lead as we go to the 8th, and Caleb Killian comes on to pitch. Dodgers have 9-1-2 with Rojas to lead off. Killian's given up just 1 run his first 10 games in his first year with the Giants. Hitters 2 for 30 against him.
Last year he struggled in AAA and ended up having to sign a minor league deal and come make the team in spring training.
1-0 to Rojas. In for a strike. Parts of 3 years with the Cubs as a spot starter. He was 0-4 on 9 ERA. It's a run an inning. Rojas has a base hit to open the 8th. First base runner for the Dodgers since the 4th, and similar stories here. The starters leave the game and the offenses smile.
Rojas hits a slider. It's not the pitch that's been successful for him this year, or all of them have, but his fastball.
Perhaps the last chance for Ohtani to extend the on-base streak. This has been kind of the trend lately, where he has left it up to the last plate appearance. More often than not the last few days. 2 ground outs and a strikeout tonight. The 1-0 pitch. Ohtani takes a strike, and it's 1-1. On the mound, he was spectacular tonight. 7 strikeouts over 6 scoreless innings. Final pitching line has his ERA down below a half. The 1-1 pitch. Ohtani pops it up down the line. That ball was on a tee. And when he's right, it's in the water. One gone in the 8th, and a word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is sponsored in part by your Southern California Nissan dealers.
And talking with some of the Dodger coaches, they said it's nothing big right now with Shohei, but a lot of little things are just a little bit off, and you put them all together, it's just not been himself. And again, not being himself is still leading to a 900 OPS that a lot of guys would kill for, but it's well below what he's used to, and that's all with the slug. The on base is as high as it's ever been.
Catcher's challenge and call ball.
Tucker takes the ball, but it's challenged by Bailey. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Didn't get it this time, and the Giants are out of challenges.
San Francisco's out of challenges.
We're not expecting the results we've been seeing from Ohtani at the plate. Also, this Dodger offense, 1 run in 16 1/3 innings, and the 1 run was pushed across with a walk.
Tucker had one to hit as well. Into center for Gilbert. And out number 2. So Ohtani and Tucker together, 1 for 16 in this series.
Killian's newfound success is from his newfound fastball. He's 3.5 mile an hour greater with the fastball velocity than he was last year.
Converting from starter to bullpen and unlocking a different animal. 2 outs for Will Smith. Walked in the first inning, 0 for 2 since then. This Giants bullpen, which is the biggest question coming into the year, has probably been their biggest strength. 4 scoreless innings yesterday, 1.83 ERA the last 12 games. And that's with nobody knowing when they're going to get called. Several guys have had save opportunities, and those same guys find themselves pitching in the 6th or 7th inning the next day.
The Giant offense is averaging per game just a little over 3 runs a game. If they could find a way to average 4 runs and have this bullpen keep doing what they're doing, they've got a chance to be an above 500 team.
Killian to Smith, the 1-2. Lays off. Right at 400 the last, or right at 500 the last 4 years. 321, 326. Their record.
1 game above the Dodgers all time.
There's a 1,289, 1,288. 2-2 on the way to Will Smith. Bouncing ball towards the middle for Adames. He's got it, and that's that. To the bottom of the 8th. Leagues for the first time in a couple years, back from surgery. 3rd game, gave up a run against the Mets in his season debut, then a scoreless outing against Colorado. Dodgers down 3-0 as Matt Chapman takes ball 1 from Hurd. Patrick Bailey's home run last inning, the difference in this game. Bailey's first home run of the year. Guy that last year had 6 home runs total. One of those 6 home runs last year was a walk-off grand slam against LA. So always seem to have something special for the Dodgers. One ball, 2 strikes. Chapman 1 for 3, got an infield hit. Hurt home with a 1-2. Got him looking. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, Dodgers have Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy due up. And Ryan Walker, who got the save last night, is getting ready right here. So perhaps his role crystallizing as the 9th inning guy. 1 gone. Devers still swung and missed at some fastballs tonight, but he's also connected on a couple really hard hit balls, part of a 2 for 3 effort.
His line drive to left center was one of the hardest hit balls off of Ohtani.
Comes up empty again, 0-2.
He's befuddled also, swinging through a lot of these fastballs.
Yeah, he's had that look on his face, and he tends to wear what he's thinking on his face. But on just about every fastball that he swings and misses at, it's like, what in the world? Is there a hole in my bat? 33 home runs a year. 35 last year going from Boston here to San Francisco. Down the line, Hernandez. 2 away. Casey Schmidt. Series will finish up tomorrow with some daytime baseball. 12:45 here in San Francisco. Tyler Glasnow goes for the Dodgers. Logan Webb for the Giants. Webb has not been himself so far this year. 5.5 ERA for the Giants ace. There's some thought, we'll dive in this tomorrow, but part of the issue with Logan Webb has been that he benefited as much as anybody from the way his stuff moves and the way that Patrick Bailey frames. You can't quite get as many calls like that with ABS. Way up there to left field. Hernandez waiting, catching in a 1-2-3 8th inning for Kyle Hurt. To the 9th we go. Dodgers down 3-0. First shutout against San Francisco in 3 years. Freddie Freeman, who's got half of their 4 hits. Ryan Walker, last night's save man. Got him back on the beam after he blew his previous save. And big picture, he's trying to get back on the beam. He'd started to move into the closer's role a couple years ago. Had a sub-2 ERA, but then last year ballooned above 4. Lost that job. Trying to take it back. 30-year-old from Washington. To Freeman with the 1-1 pitch. Out of the zone. 1-2. Dodgers have both challenges.
Yeah.
That one was a strike. Count evens 2-2. Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy to follow in this inning. Walker's 2-2 pitch. Ball 3.
This game has been like a good book, just a page turner. You know, it is moved, but it's been exciting to watch.
Freeman leading off the 9th. Fouling one off. Two hits tonight, both soft hit on tough pitches to hit. And then he's had a couple that he hasn't hit that have been right there like that last one. Still alive though. Another 3-2. Carves it out down the line. Ramos has room for the first out of the 9th.
The crowd here starting to get on their feet and cheer for outs. They've been competing on different cheers between the Dodgers and the Giant fans. But now it's the Giant fans that really have the advantage.
Hernandez is 0 for 3. Well, the Giants offense has not changed from what has been a slog for a lot of the year. Just 3 runs in both games. The pitching has been outstanding. And has them on the verge of taking a series from the top team in baseball. This would be a 5th win out of their last 6. Touch too early to scoreboard watch, but since we told you at the start of the night the Padres had tied the Dodgers in the standing, we'll put a bow on that. They trail the Rockies 8-2 in the 9th inning. Deep center field. Gilbert's going back to the track with room. And they're down to their last out.
You mentioned 3 years ago was the last time the Giants shut the Dodgers out. Anybody shut the Dodgers out? You have to go back to August 29th of last year.
Only 1 base runner the last 5 innings. Walker to Muncy. Giants have scored in only 2 innings in this series. Had all 3 runs in the first inning yesterday, all 3 runs on 1 swing in the 7th today. 2 innings of offense and on the verge of 2 wins coming out of that. 4-pitch walk to Muncy, and a glimmer of hope for the Dodgers. Now Pages.
With Kim on deck, you might see Dalton rushing if Pages reaches.
On cue, he stepped into the on-deck circle. Pages taps it left side. Could be trouble. Walker, though, a bare hand play to end the game. What a play by Ryan Walker to finish off a 3-0 Giant shutout over the Dodgers.
It was a great break off the mound to be able to get there. Then the bare hand play, very sure-handed. Little sidearm, played the curve. Routine out after he got to the ball. Dodgers end up scoring 1 run so far in this series. They're going to need more than that tomorrow, probably, to at least salvage 1 win.
Giants get their 5th win out of their last 6 games.